This is the second story of Sir Rupert the Knight. Rupert and Abby were ready for bed, but Abby insisted a story was read. She pouted and stomped, said, "I'll get what I want." Sir Rupert closed his eyes instead. He knew the routine just the same, a story with princesses saved, but he wasn't impressed and instead took a rest and dreamed of the dragons he'd slay. Sir Rupert was known for his bravery, skill, his sweet ninja moves, and his good looks as well. He slayed dragons by day, and when he had his fill, he'd go home to play video games, just until the new day arrives and he'd do the same, get up and slay dragons, play video games. A life stuck on repeat. It seemed pretty lame, so Sir Rupert the Knight left his village that day. He built a large boat, setting sail, heading west. He took his shield with him, his sword, and his vest. The ocean looked angry, but he gave it his best, and he captained the ship without any rest. Alas, in the distance, a smoke cloud, he swore, and he peered through his telescope, afraid to see more. He gasped and he sailed until he reached the shore, and he dashed toward the village, raising his sword. The village aflame, and the townspeople cried. All of Burmiss's knights couldn't put up a fight. He was too much for us. He destroyed all of our knights, so we hid over there until the dragon took flight. A dragon, no less, had created this mess. Sir Rupert felt heaviness deep in his chest. He took pity on the town and said with distress, "I must help this town," he began to suggest. What a great idea, the townspeople agreed, and in the time it took Rupert to roll up his sleeves, the town was back up. They had planted new trees, and the king was impressed at Sir Rupert's deeds. "Wait just a moment, Sir Rupert the Knight. Won't you train some of us to be able to fight, in case the next dragon doesn't take flight and decides to destroy what you've built here tonight?" Sir Rupert agreed, for the knights that once were, for respect for the king and the people he'd serve, to protect the townspeople, for they all deserved a league of proud warriors to protect their reserve. So Sir Rupert trained a league of strong men and women to stand and protect and defend. He'd challenge them day in and day out and pretend and push them until they were one force again. What a kind-hearted man, King Maxus did state, and the town of Burmiss did indeed celebrate. The village was shouting, "Sir Rupert the Great!" And Sir Rupert, his job done, walked to the gate. "Sir Rupert, in honor of all that you've done, I consider you even as my only son. I'd be honored if you'd marry my daughter. This one is the most beautiful woman under the sun." Sir Rupert looked down, and the king stared at him, and the knight looked quite puzzled as he rubbed his chin. "I'm afraid I won't be good enough, King. Please understand that the reason I say no is because I like men." The king was appalled as he rubbed his cheek. "How can a knight also be girly and weak? My only daughter, my kingdom, all yours." He just blinked, and Sir Rupert was filled with a rage, so to speak. "I rebuilt your town, I helped save the day, I trained your new army, they're the bravest to date. I'll leave peacefully if that's what you want me to say. But I'm not weak just because I am gay." The king stood, dumbfounded at what he'd just seen, blinked twice, and sank to the ground to his knees. He hoped that Sir Rupert wouldn't be too displeased as he offered his crown down at Sir Rupert's feet. Sir Rupert smiled from ear to ear, said, "When you need a new king, I'll be right here. But you, my friend, are a fine king, that's clear." And the town celebrated with cries and cheers. So the king's daughter married a prince from St. Blythe, and the town of Burmiss was once again bright, and he'd be there to battle the dragons at night if his name wasn't Sir Rupert the Knight.